Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting right into this. This is the best of 7 finals of the Doberman double elimination competition. Unfortunately, I was defeated in the semi-finals, so I did not get to the finals. But oh no, not the semi-finals, the third round just before the semi-finals. Whatever. The point is, if I didn't get eliminated, I wouldn't be able to commentate on the final, so it's going to be extremely interesting. The final is between Doberman, the yellow Protoss, and iNko, the red Protoss. iNko is currently ranked like 123rd in Europe or something like that, so a very good Protoss player, and hopefully we're going to see some interesting strategies today from both these players. By the end of this, I am going to be knackered. By the end of this, it's going to be extremely interesting, so we'll see what happens in this whole thing. Anyway, Doberman now spawning in this bottom left position, whilst iNko is spawning in the top right position, so cross positions here. Gonna make for maybe a bit of a longer game. Hopefully we'll see some interesting things other than just 4 gates or whatever. I said to them beforehand, let's see some interesting strategies, so hopefully they've taken that on board, and maybe we'll see some good stuff today. Hopefully it won't get too boring. I'm hoping that I'm sincerely hoping it doesn't go to an ace match or a 7th match, otherwise my uploads are going to take forever and ever and ever, which would be highly irritating. But it doesn't matter too much, I don't care. This is going to be hopefully a really great series. Anyway, Doberman now sending out this probe to the correct location, so very lucky going cross-positional there, and spotting iNko, as you can see. But iNko did send his probe the wrong way and is now sending it the correct way to scout Doberman. And we do see an assimilator, very early assimilator actually going down for Doberman at this point. So I'm not quite sure what he's going to be doing here, but we'll see as the game progresses. iNko now throwing down the usual gate, as well as now spotting the gateway from Doberman, so he does know what's going on. But I'm not so sure he's seen that. No, he hasn't seen that assimilator yet, but he does now see that assimilator, so he is going to know what's going on. He's now throwing down his first assimilator as well. Let's go to the production tab so we can keep an eye on things, and everyone else can keep an eye on things, just in case I do miss something, because that would be horrendous and not very good. Anyway, both players now just chrono boosting out their probes. A lot of probes in production from each person, but iNko does Psylock himself, whilst Doberman is quite happily unpsylocked. So a bit of a mishap there from iNko, but now he's back in action and pumping that Zealot out quickly. It is rallied over to Doberman's base, but I imagine he's going to want to take out this probe. No, it's just going to go straight over there, so going to be putting on some early pressure, I think, from iNko here. Doberman just doing a little bit of a dance with iNko's probe here at the beginning. And we do see the cybernetics core as well as a pylon going down for Doberman at the front of his base. We also see the cybernetics core going down for iNko as well. I was actually knocked out of this tournament by iNko, who thoroughly thrashed me, so I'm very interested to see what he does here against Doberman, who is also a very good Protoss player. Anyway, iNko now piling on this early pressure with this Zealot and this probe as well, taking that first Zealot down quite a bit of health, and he's coming around for another shot. He's going to get in there, and the actual Doberman reinforcing now with these 2 probes, and this Zealot is going to go down eventually, I think, from these 2 probes, and this new Zealot that has come out. So I think that iNko is not doing any more early pressure. He does have this second gateway going up, as well as this new pylon, and bringing out a Stalker, as well as Doberman bringing out a Stalker here. So very, very similar builds going on, apart from this early assimilator. So I can only imagine that Doberman's going to be going for a really heavy gas build. He wants to get rid of that probe. He does get rid of that probe, so I imagine he's going to be throwing down some kind of tech soon. We will see what happens. We do see iNko coming out with a Twilight Council, and Doberman does go for that robotics facility, so 1 gate, 1 robo at the moment for Doberman, whilst iNko is currently on 2 gates and 1 Twilight Council. Both players do have warp gates being researched, and iNko's is a little bit ahead of Doberman. And I'm poking up the ramp here with this Stalker and Zealot, but meeting a Stalker and Zealot and a Sentry from Doberman, so he's going to be able to fend this off quite easily, taking out that Zealot there. So quite a nice advantage there from Doberman at that point. I think he's not going to be able to catch that Stalker though, as it's running back to the base. Now a bit of a wasted chrono boost going down on this warp gate, but actually no, it does not waste. Oh, what the hell am I on about? It's going to be recharging this warp usage all the quicker, and Blink now being researched for iNko. But Doberman is now bringing out a warp prism, so we're going to be able to see some interesting harass maybe on the mineral lines of iNko at this point. That's going to play for a very nice, entertaining game if he can get that off. These gates now, 2 more gates now being warped in, and the warp gate has been finished. So I'm surprised he hasn't warped that into a warp gate just yet. And we do see nice saturation going on from the main of both players here right now. So a third gateway going down for iNko as well. So very, very similar builds here with the difference of the Robo Facility and the Twilight Council. So Blink, I believe, is going to be very, very useful against this Warp Prism harass. This Warp Prism now moving around the vision of this tower just in case he does have that tower. He doesn't want to have to scout it out and waste more time waiting around for this harass to be effective. But I think with these Stalkers, especially with the Blink, but they are moving out, so he's going to leave himself exposed to this harass. I think that Doberman is going to get off some effective harass here if he can use it effectively. All these units now destroying these destructible rocks, but now a massive, relatively big force from iNko moving out across the map, sitting in the middle here, just not doing much. But we do see now a robotics bay going down for Doberman, but now these zealots warping in order to harass the mineral line. I'm not sure iNko sees this right now, but he is going to see it now and moving all these probes back into but these 2 Stalkers are going to be able to deal with these 2 zealots effectively. I think he did get to a couple of probe kills there, moving all these units back now in order to make sure he can't do anything else. But that warp prism has served its purpose. He did kill off a few probes on the Vespine gas line, as well as a few on the mineral line as well. So, nice exchange there, I think, for Doberman. Although both players now have a warp prism out, and this proxy pylon now going down for iNko in order to be able to warp onto this high ground if Doberman does take this expansion. But a big force now moving out across the map for iNko. And as you can see, Doberman is quite prepared for this. He has a nice force here. He's going to be able to force field on this ramp, but with that Blink, I'm not sure he'll be able to hold this off. But an Immortal coming out just in the nick of time to fend off this push. This Immortal is going to rip through those Stalkers, and we do see an Observer out now for iNko, whilst this but nice Blink down onto this expansion there by iNko from Doberman, by iNko. There we go, that'll do. And now an engagement going on in the middle of the field, and all these Stalkers just running past, getting some free kills for Doberman as these Stalkers are just moving through, and they should be blinking away because this is too much of a force. But all these Stalkers now should be blinking down in order to take down this pylon and this nexus. And I imagine this force is going to be able to take out these Stalkers here, but another Immortal coming out from Doberman, as you can see, as well as these Stalkers now trying to move around to take out this nexus here, warping in more units up on the high ground. And right now, I don't think Doberman has anything to spot this high ground. He does not. He does dual robotics facility out now, so that's going to spell bad news for iNko if he doesn't expand soon. Now getting this saturated, but all these Stalkers blinking down in order to take out these probes. Really nice use of these Stalkers here, waiting for these units to move out of the base so you can get effective harass on. This warp prism now moving around the back of the base in order to warp in probably zealots on this background in order to be able to abuse this line as well. This nexus now going down, but Doberman is amassing a counter-attack in the base of iNko. And we do see a lot of Stalkers here now pounding away at this Mortal. And, pylons! Pylons being warped in from Doberman here, trying to seal off any kind of harass going on here. But these units of Dobermans are going to be able to take out these pylons and render these gateways completely useless at this point. But again, a massive 2-pronged attacking sort of a base race in essence here. Doberman bringing up this warp prism in order to warp more units in the base. And all these probes getting in on the action. No, they're just going to run. Blocking them off nice from Doberman. But all these units here. And Doberman also moves all his probes out of the base in order to keep them alive. And iNko now in hot pursuit of these probes. but he doesn't have a Nexus, so he's going to be revealed very shortly. And Doberman now amassing units on this gate and this Nexus, and he's going to be taking out this Nexus as well. So it looks like Doberman has the upper hand here. He's going to be using all these probes in order to fight off these buildings here, and all these units are going to end up going down. Nice force field there, but the blink does save those units, and we do see now. Oh, that is lovely. Doberman stealing the main of iNko, and as we can see here in the top corner, iNko building a oh, and it is GG. iNko calls GG. That was an amazing match. Anyway, let's see. I will see you for round 2.